Good guys, welcome back to another video where we will be speaking about and predicting the game week 29 matches. So let's get straight into it. Man City versus Liverpool is the first game we're going to talk about, and a massive game for both teams. So let's start with Man City. They've been pretty good this season. Haaland's been popping off for them. He's the top scorer in the Prem at the moment, and they are in decent form. In the last 5 games, they have won 4 and drew 1 game, which leaves them unbeaten, and they sit in second in the Premier League. And let's hop on over to Liverpool. They haven't had the best season, but they have picked up their form a bit recently, and Yakpo has started to get going recently. He's been scoring, assisting, and in the last 5, Liverpool have 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and they sit in 6th place, which means they could get top 4 possibly, but I believe they do need to win the rest of their games. So my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for City. Now Bournemouth versus Fulham. In my opinion, this should be a dominant game by Fulham. So let's start with Bournemouth. They're struggling massively this season, conceded 54 goals already, the most in the league. And they're not scoring many goals as well. So in the last 5, they have won 2 and lost 3, and they sit in 19th place in the Premier League. And on to Fulham. They've been surprisingly good this season. A standout player for them has been Mitrovic, their striker, and they've been in okay form. In the last 5 games, they have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, and they play very nice football. And they sit 9th in the Prem, so my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Fulham. And next we have Brighton versus Brentford. Definitely going to be a solid match. So let's start off with Brighton. Been a great season for them. They've been doing pretty well, but they have struggled in their recent games. In the last 4 games, they have 2 wins, a draw, and 1 loss. The reason it's not last 5 is because one of the games was postponed, and Mitoma has been a standout player for them. He has been amazing for them, and they sit in 7th place in the Premier League at the moment. Now let's switch on over to Brentford, the opponents, and they've been impressive as well this season. Tony definitely a standout player. I believe he has like 15 or 16 goals at the moment, which is really good. And Brentford have been in decent form in the last 5. They have 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss, and they sit under Brighton in 8th place. And my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the 2 sides. Now Crystal Palace versus Leicester could be an interesting one. So let's start with Crystal Palace. They haven't been too good this season. They did sack Vieira, and now they brought in Roy Hodgson back. And the recent form hasn't been very good. It's been pretty bad. They have drew 1, and they have 4 losses in the last 5 games. And Zaha is obviously a standout player for them in this team. And let's see if Roy Hodgson can turn this season around for them. And they sit in 12th place in the league at the moment. Until Leicester City, the Foxes, they've been awful this season, if I'm being totally honest. Maddison is probably their best player. He's creating for them, he's scoring for them as well. Just incredible player. And their recent form has been horrible as well. In the last 5, they have 1 draw and 4 losses, and they're very close to the relegation zone, and they sit in 17th place. So my prediction for this game is going to be a 3-1 win for Leicester. Now on to Nottingham Forest versus Wolves. This will be a decent battle between the two mid-table sides. And let's start with Forest first. They haven't been the best results-wise recently, but their best player is Brennan Johnson. The form has not been too good. They have 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5 games, and no wins in the last 5. And they sit in 16th place at the Prem. So let's hop on over to Wolves. They've been decent this season. Ruben Neves is a key player for them, but they have been struggling recently. In the last 5, they have 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses, and they sit in 13th place in the Premier League. And in my opinion, this is going to be a 2-1 win for Wolves. So Arsenal versus Leeds. This has potential to have lots of goals in this game, so let's start with Arsenal. They've been so good this season. Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, Gabriel, etc. have been amazing this season. Immense. And they've been in very good form, Arsenal have. In the last 5 games, they have won all 5, undefeated in the last 5. Play very nice football. Sit in first place, top of the Premier League. And on to Leeds United. Pretty good attacking team, been doing decent under the new manager. They have been in decent form recently. In the last 5, they have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. And Gnonto is a special player for them. And Leeds currently sits in 14th place in the Premier League. But for me, this game's gonna end 3-1 to Arsenal. And the next game is Chelsea versus Aston Villa. We could see this being an even game. So let's start with Chelsea. They haven't been too good this season. Recently, they haven't been in the best form as well. And in the last 5, they have 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. And Felix, in my opinion, has been a difference maker in the side, just creating chances, getting shots off, and all that. So it's Chelsea sit in 10th place at the moment. And let's hop on over to Aston Villa. Definitely a underrated team. They've been doing pretty good this season. The recent form has been pretty solid. In the last 5, they have 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And Watkins has been scoring quite a bit. And this Aston Villa team sits in 11th place in the Premier League. And my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Well, West Ham versus Southampton, 2 teams who are struggling. And they will be playing each other. So let's start with West Ham. Haven't been good this season. Bowen has been trying to create stuff, I could see. And West Ham recent form is okay. In the last 5, they have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. I feel like maybe it's time for Moyes to change something up. Maybe play around with some tactics and see if something works. And they sit in 18th place, which is in the relegation zone at the moment. Onto Southampton, the opponents. Another team struggling as well. They've been struggling form-wise this season. Ward-Prowse is definitely their best player. They don't play the best football, if I'm being honest. In the last 5, they have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. And they sit in 20th place at the bottom of the table. But my prediction for this game is going to be a 1-0 win for Southampton. Now Newcastle versus Man United. Definitely one of the games this weekend that I will watch. So let's start with Newcastle. This team has had a great season, conceded the least goals this season in the Premier League, which is 19 goals. Dropped form in recent matches, though. In the last 4, they have 2 wins and 2 losses, and the losses came against Liverpool and Man City, both 2-0 losses, and they sit in 5th place. So possibly they could get Champions League football, but we'll see how they play in the last 10 games of the season. And let's hop on over to Man United. Very good team. They've been in pretty decent form. Rashford as well has been popping off this season. In the last 5 games, Man United have 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And they lost 7-0 to Liverpool, and they sit in 3rd place at the moment. And my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Man United. Now, the last game we are going to talk about is Everton versus Tottenham. I could see this game being a dominant one for Tottenham. So let's start with Everton. Everton have been in a bit of a struggle this season. Onana has been a standout player for them. Very, very good. He played well against Arsenal. And this team's been in decent form recently. In the last 5, they have 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Sean Dyche has done a decent job, in my opinion, at Everton. They sit in 15th place at the moment. So he took them from the relegation zone to all the way to 15th, which is pretty decent. And on to Tottenham. They've been good this season, and Conte has parted ways as the Tottenham coach. So it's not good for Spurs. I wonder who's gonna come in next, but Kane is a very important player for the team. In the last 5 games, Tottenham have 3 wins, a draw, and 1 loss. And they've been pretty decent recently, and they sit in 4th place, so they could get Champions League football. But we'll see how the rest of the season pans out for them. So my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Tottenham. And yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments all your predictions for the games. I will definitely read them. And yeah, hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.